Anyway, look, you've been a lifelong iPhone user. And for the last week, you've tried a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra to try something new. So, Shayla, I'm going to ask you, if you have the chance to switch from iPhone to Android, will you do it? I'm shocked. I'm not going to lie. I thought something was going to happen, and then all of a sudden something else happened, and then this happened. This is the first time I've been completely blown away. So you asked for it, and now I'm going to give it to you. A lifelong iPhone user is going to try an Android phone and see if they will switch. I love this video series. It's been so much fun. Same rules apply, so if you're used to them, you're going to love it. If not, I'm going to tell you all about what I'm doing here and what this video is all about right after this.
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. And today we're going to challenge an iPhone user to use an Android phone. Let's get into the video. So if you missed the first two videos, what's happened so far is I've challenged iPhone users to try Android phones and I've had some pretty interesting results. I'll leave links in the description below so you guys and girls can watch those videos. They've been super fun, but everyone wanted me to do it the opposite way. So here we are. Today, we're going to challenge Shayla. Now, I've known Shayla pretty much all her life. You see, she's the daughter of my best friend, you know, the guy that I put air tags on his car and followed him around for 24 hours without him knowing. I'm really torturing this family. It's pretty crazy. I've known her for so long that I can remember when she was younger than her current kids. It's been pretty crazy. But she's only ever owned an iPhone. And when I asked her if she wanted to try the challenge out, she said, yeah. So I'm going to give her a phone that's made the same year as her iPhone. Have her use it for a week and see what she thinks. So let's get into the video. All right, I'm here with Shayla. I know that you've agreed to do this, but we're kind of in a place where you're just telling me things that I didn't even realize about how to use your iPhone. So first of all, talk about how long have you been using an iPhone and what that experience has been like.
I've had an iPhone since probably 2012. It was right after I had Tanner. I first got my big girl job and I bought an iPhone and I was super proud of that. I have used one ever since and have no intention of switching to Android at all. I've never even thought about it.
So why are you open to doing this?
Just for the experience, just to say I did it, just to try it. I don't use anything Android. I never have. Aside from somebody handing me a Kindle tablet, I haven't done anything other than Apple. So I don't know. I mean, I use iMessage frequently, but that's not anything that can't just be switched over to a regular SMS message. Mm-hmm. So for that, I'm not super worried. I'll just have to call my mom to see how Tanner is.
Okay, so. No problem. All right, so what you have now is the iPhone 12?
Yes.
12 Pro?
Just 12.
All right, 12.
I think.
Okay, so if you flip it over, you can tell.
It's two cameras. It's
okay,
a 12.
Camera with 12. Okay.
Yep.
So what we're putting you in, we're going to use the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra, which came out the same year as yours.
Okay.
It has the S Pen, which Tish talked about loving, and I think you might like it too. So go ahead and grab it. It's got a screen protector on it. We're going to go ahead and set it up. And then we're going to have you walk through the setup and see what you think of it during that setup process. Okay. You're not used to a fingerprint sensor, really.
No, not since they got rid of it a couple years back. So
get used to it here, sister. All right, go ahead and start the process here. Now, are your contacts in Google? Are they backed up to Google?
I don't know.
This is gonna be. We're all gonna find out together.
I don't know. I do use Google, so that could help, right?
Yeah, well, maybe. It will. So things like Gmail and stuff are gonna be super easy.
Oh, good.
I think the S Pen is gonna be really cool. I think you're really gonna dig that because you can take really quick notes with it. You also can take pictures with it. It's really cool.
See, and I've never needed a stylus for anything, so I may use it. I may not touch it at all. Who knows?
So we'll actually do the smart switch thing later. It's been hit or miss with this, especially depending on how much stuff you have on your phone, which I assume is a lot of pictures and stuff. Well,
okay.
Maybe we do this part later.
Yeah, so there's 16,000 pictures on my phone.
Okay, well, we're probably not going to
Yeah, so
maybe
we're not going to want to do yeah.
Yep.
Now let's see if I remember my password. This is a much longer process than it was with the
earlier iPhone.
Yeah.
Touch ID. Okay, these are the apps and stuff. I'm not really going to help you with this part.
Well, I know what none of those are, so I don't want them.
Okay, you're in. Now, you'll definitely want to download like Gmail, which I actually think is already there. See, there's a Google. Yep, there you go. See if that connects to your email already.
Okay.
message.
It is. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So that looks fine. Okay.
Yep.
Now I want you to start using the S Pen. So bottom left corner, you'll notice is the S Pen. You just push it, and then it'll spring out. And it comes out. Now this is the thing. You don't want to lose this. It's very, very important. Now this is going to tell you some of the things you can do. So go ahead and do some of the things that it tells you.
Actions. What did that just tell? Okay. Where's the, oh. And then flick it up. Oh, okay. Okay, but what am I doing with these things? Why do I need to know how to do this?
Well, you'll find out, I'm sure. Or maybe you won't. Who knows?
I know. Okay.
That will give you different things you can do with the S Pen specifically. Now, what's cool is if you hit the power button, I think it's on the right-hand side.
This one?
Okay, that's how it's... Now pull it out. This is one of my favorite S Pen features. Now, you can just write yourself a note here. Just like write something, so you can write yourself a note. And you can do it in different colors or whatever. And the cool thing about this is if you have something really fast...
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't ever... I mean, that is a way better function than just the iPhone going in, having to go into notes and then typing something out just to be able to quick pull it out.
So yeah, you'll be able to customize this to the nth degree, including things like ringtones for people and, text and pictures and all that stuff.
All of the things that you can't do on an iPhone.
Pretty much. So I really want you to really kind of customize as much as you can. There you go. Click apply. And now it's starting to apply. And then when you hit the home button at the bottom, there you go. So later that night, I started getting texts from her about how she was actually kind of liking the phone. And by the next day, not only was I getting texts that she was really enjoying the phone, she sent me this video.
Don't tell anyone, but this phone's really starting to grow on me. I love the functionality. I love the ability to customize everything. The camera is incredible. You're doing awesome, dude. I took the boys out to the park today, and just taking pictures is incredible. I'm loving it. Yeah, my iPhone is in trouble. I may be switching, and I never saw this coming.
Now, this kind of shocked me. I figured if she would like it at all, it would be later in the process. This literally happened like within the first 24 hours. It was insane. Here's something else that she said.
Good morning. First night didn't go too bad. No major problems or anything logging into everything. I will say that the one thing that I definitely forgot to do was set my alarm. So the alarm clock function is great. It does work very well if you use it.
So at this point, I'm thinking she's probably going to switch much faster than I thought would ever be possible. But again, it's about challenging people and what they've gotten used to. She's only ever known the iPhone. So I wanted to ask her some questions as we were halfway through the experiment. My first question is, someone who basically just always had an iPhone, what's it been like for the first couple of days, and what are some of the things you've noticed?
It's been really smooth. There hasn't really been anything major that's come up that I haven't been able to figure out. It's functionality wise, it's pretty much the same as using an iPhone. I mean, it does all of the same things that I want it to do. The only major difference is, like I said before, is that things are customizable. I can pull out the S Pen and write a note down if I need to. But outside of that, I haven't used the S Pen at all. I did write down a couple of things when I went to the grocery store today that I needed to remember, but outside of that, haven't touched it. I can understand for somebody who does take notes often and needs to remember things, it is pretty cool. Outside of using like my iPhone in the notes section, trying to type down everything and remember and then try to find it. I did have trouble finding where the Samsung Notes went. I wrote that down and I definitely saved it, and I have no idea where it is. Outside of that, aside from like toolbars on Facebook being up top instead of down below, there hasn't really been anything that I've run into that's been majorly inconvenient.
What has surprised you so far about using this particular device?
The only thing that's surprising, the graphics for different games and things like that are amazing. I was playing Pokemon Go a couple of days ago with Tanner, and even just like going into Pokestops and stuff, the way that it zooms in, it gives you so much more depth than on the iPhone, and I think that's super cool. Tanner was like, "Whoa, yours looks way better than mine," and I'm like, "Sorry, dude, I don't know." And we did find a workaround for Tanner's iMessage problem. He uses Messenger Kids, so we just downloaded Messenger and made sure that it was all up to date, and haven't had an issue, because as long as he's connected to Wi-Fi, he was doing the same thing he was before. So it is a little bit different with swiping up, like to close apps out of the iPhone. And when I do that here, it just kind of freaks out. It's like, what are you doing? Because you push the button and it goes home, and there's another button and it flips through all the apps that you have open and things like that. I had no idea. It's really cool. I love this phone. It's really smooth. There's been no issues with battery life or anything like that. It's really similar to my iPhone, so it's been great.
So I told you about Dex a little bit. Did you get to look into that at all? And then the multitasking where you can actually do more than one thing at one time. Have you tried any of that?
I did split screen yesterday while I was trying to look for a recipe, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off.
Oh, okay.
So I was stuck there for a while, and I was like, well, I guess we just have two windows open. I don't know what's going on.
So far, in going from iPhone to Android, are you kind of happy with what's happening right now? Has this been like a little painful? Like some people have had some growing pains with it, but it sounds like so far you're just kind of like, yeah, I mean, it's just I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I enjoy it more than I thought I would. I thought that I would come into this and it would be funky and hard to get used to, just because it's a different operating system and things like that. And it's been totally seamless. So I was pretty surprised. Aside from like most of my pictures and things that I don't have immediate access to because I need to download everything, it's been great. And so seeing all the different options, and most of them are free.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. You have to pay for everything you want on an iPhone.
Right.
Anything at all. You got to pay for a ringtone. You got to pay for 30-second clips of that song that you can't remember. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. So just having those options has been really awesome. And I'm kind of a little worried about going back to an iPhone where I have none of those options.
Do you have a general idea of like which way you're leaning, or are you still kind of in the middle of trying to figure everything out?
There's nothing that I'm missing. Wow. I can't think of a single thing that I'm missing. Maybe I don't use my phone the way other people do. So many people are using them for video conferences and really into gaming and things like that, and I don't do any of that. Really leaning towards getting an Android when I upgrade. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough call.
So a couple days later, she had one more thing to share. This is what she had to say.
This is awesome. This has been a super fun experience, trying to learn something new and just seeing what's out there with different features and functions of different phones. I didn't know so many of these options were out here, having had my iPhone for about 10 years, but it's been fun.
Going into the final day, I was super excited. This had gone completely the opposite direction of what I thought, and I was really excited to know what her decision would be. Now, I gotta be honest, I actually had an idea of what she would say, but I was wrong. Completely. All right, we're here. The final day. Shayla's here after having the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra for a week. You've been an iPhone user your entire life, right? Like, this is the first time you've owned an Android phone.
Yes.
So what has the experience overall been like? Forget about the actual phone itself, but what's the experience been like?
Overall, it's been fun. Getting to learn kind of a new platform, just to go through different apps and have different, not necessarily different features as my iPhone, but different ways of doing things that have been fun to kind of figure out and sort through. I think at first it was like this new shiny toy that's so different from everything that I've ever known, and it's exciting to try. And now I'm not as excited.
Because ultimately we're just using apps and stuff, and by and large, they're mostly the same. It might be one.
It does the same thing. Yeah, it does the exact same thing that my iPhone does. It just does it differently.
Exactly right. And this is kind of the point of this entire series, is to let people know that, you know, to be stuck in one or the other, you shouldn't feel that way, because ultimately you're still going to get the same things done. Now, is there anything that you have missed that is not on the Galaxy Note that you were either using or you were like a couple days later, like, I wish this thing was here, but it's not?
Overall, not really.
Mhm.
As far as things that I can do on my iPhone that I couldn't do here, I can't really think of anything major.
Mhm.
I think the only thing that I miss phone wise, like feature wise from my iPhone is, and I said this in one of my journals, is the lift to wake feature. I don't
Mhm.
like picking up this phone and
Mhm.
having it still be dark.
Right, right.
And then trying to figure out, since I don't know where the top or the bottom of the phone is, where to put my finger on this magical button that's
Right.
supposed to scan my thumbprint. But outside of that, I don't feel like I'm missing much.
So interestingly, there is a setting for that, but
Is
that's
there?
yeah. Not only that,
See?
there's also a setting to just like you can just tap it. But this brings up a good point because this stuff is hidden among settings on settings on settings, and it
Yeah.
wasn't until recently that you even got to try or even know about decks. So I'd love to hear what happened with that.
Okay, so I was super excited today,
Okay.
and I didn't even think about it until I was going through, and I had to have a meeting with my manager today, with my boss, and
Mhm.
she's the CEO of our company. And with my laptop and my workstation, I have to unplug the dock in order to have the audio from my computer to be able to hear her in our meeting. And
Okay.
I unplugged it, and a light bulb went off that it's a USB-C
USB-C.
port. And I was like, my phone has a USB-C port.
Okay. All
And
right.
I
All right.
got super excited and I plugged it in and it said welcome and Dex. And there was a whole PC on my phone. And I was shocked and I was like, oh my gosh. And there wasn't anything that I looked at that I
Mhm.
couldn't do from my desktop now.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that was super exciting to see. And if there was ever a point where I didn't have a computer already
Mhm.
and needed to switch to something that I could have both,
Mhm.
just for ease, that was totally it. And it worked seamlessly. It was super easy. When you go to charge an Android that has died, it
Mhm.
doesn't automatically turn back on.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So last night I was playing on TikTok and watching different videos and things, and my phone died, and I was like, I can go to bed. It's like 11.
Yeah.
So I go and I put my phone on the charger, and my alarm doesn't go off this morning.
Oh, that's a big
And
one.
yeah, so
Yikes.
I was like, what happened? And I pick up the phone, and it's 100% charged,
Yeah,
but it's
it
not
is.
on.
It's not.
But outside of that, the voicemail function on this phone is not my favorite. You have to like call in
Mm.
through T-Mobile, which is how, I mean, we did it in ancient times. But now on my iPhone, there's just a tab at the bottom where I can click voicemail and it has it transcribed, and I can just hit play and I know where to push it to delete it. And
Mhm.
on this phone, I had to use the call in and listen to the whole message, and then I didn't want to listen to the whole message. So I'm just pushing buttons to figure out how to delete it, how to get out of the message, and I saved every single one of them. I love that I can customize everything. I love that I can change the theme, so the background's different. I can change the icons. I can go in and find ringtones that I like and assign them, and I don't have to pay for any of it.
Have you missed iMessage or FaceTime?
No.
Hmm. That's
Not at
interesting.
all. There have been people that have texted me saying, "Why are my messages green?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm trying something out." It's nothing crazy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm trying an Android for a week. And I've had a lot of people be like, "Oh my gosh, is it terrible?" And I'm like, "No, actually, it's amazing."
Anyway, look, you've been a lifelong iPhone user, and for the last week, you've tried a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra to try something new. So, Shayla, I'm going to ask you if you have the chance to switch from iPhone to Android, will you do it?
Probably not right now.
Oh, when?
Probably not.
Why not?
Probably
Why not?
not. There are just things about my iPhone and how easy it is, just because I can't customize everything, that
Mhm.
it's easy. It's
Yeah.
easy and I know where everything is already. I think if I were coming into the world of smartphones brand new and
Mhm.
fresh and I've never done anything, I don't have all of my life invested in my iCloud,
Yeah,
um,
right. I know.
I
Yeah.
would probably go Android,
Hmm.
to be honest, just because it's it's really, really simple. and you have all of these really cool features and options for things. The Dex part is amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. It's super cool.
Yeah.
But I'm already super invested in this iPhone life, so I'm probably gonna stick it out for at least the next year.
You've said that despite the fact that it's been incredible, every time you've messaged me, you're like, "Oh my god, this is great! Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like the text,
and I do love it.
It's incredible. Like I totally didn't expect this. I'm shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I thought something was gonna happen, and then all of a sudden something else happened, and then this happened. And this is the first time I've been completely blown away. So anyway. I mean, it's amazing. I'm glad you enjoyed your time. If you had more time with things like Dex and stuff, do you think that would have made a difference or no?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah, probably. Just because I have this double screen set up for my workstation, and all of the things that I do on my phone, I could be doing at a desktop, which is really cool, just to be able to plug it in and go, especially for filling out things for the kids' school, emailing teachers back and forth. Like all of those things are way simpler on a computer. And while I do have one, having all of that in your phone is also really, really convenient.
What an incredible experiment this has been. Thanks so much to Shayla for really just diving deep into it and really giving it a chance. She loved it, and you never know. She might give it a shot here in a couple of months. Now, what's interesting is this is not the only time I'm doing this. I'm going to do this again, and I believe I'm going to do it with the S22 Ultra. That's right, the brand new Samsung smartphone. So if you want to watch that video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time. Peace and love.